be interesting to see how that plays out. We got Jack Cone, who was Matthew Cone's little brother. He'll play a role. Jake Clearman, another kicker that we've got that has worked real hard. And there's a couple other guys who are going to try and see, and we'll just, it's one of those deals with kicker. It's easy. If you're the best, you're going to kick. And it's pretty black and white. So that'll be interesting how it plays out. But I have confidence in both of those guys. I think we got two good ones.
Hey, I appreciate it, Chris. It's time to see y'all this year.
Great.
What's up?
Hey, man.
Coach, we talked during spring, but what's the transition been like since then?
Yeah, it's been pretty crazy. I feel like that was yesterday, last time we talked. Honestly, it's funny, the coaches were talking about yesterday how fast this summer's gone. And for me, a lot of it's been because just more on the plate, obviously. Instead of just dealing with quarterbacks and a little bit of the offense, now it's a little bit of everything. But one of the things that I'm so fortunate to have is a great staff. They do so much. They're all head coaches in their own right, and so the delegation part is really easy because they're willing and able and ready to take on a lot of those roles. But it's been a little crazy, but it's been fun. We've had a blast. We're excited for this season. I think our coaching staff's fired up. Probably more excited for this season than in a long time.
Yeah.
So I'm excited.
I'm sure you don't want to give up too much, but how much offense have you changed? I mean, obviously you guys were so good under GQ, and have you added much? Have you maybe added your own wrinkles and stuff, or have you just kind of kept it the way it was?
Sure, we're going to add some wrinkles. I think when Coach Quarles was here, we would always talk in the offseason about how can we stay ahead of the curve, and what's the next thing, and so we always change things up from year to year. Obviously, even some week to week, add new wrinkles. You have to, if you want to stay ahead, because defenses react, and there's so many good defensive coaches, not only on our schedule but in this area. And if you just continue the same thing, they're going to figure you out. They're going to beat you, And so we always try to stay ahead of the curve. Nothing changed this offseason. We're going to try to stay ahead of the curve, but you still got to. At the end of the day, you have to be yourself. Figure out what your team's good at, what your guys are comfortable doing, and Maryville's got to have an identity. And so that won't change, because I've learned from Coach Quarles and from our offensive staff, and so we're going to be who we've been in the past, and that won't change.
One of the things that he was known for so well was trick plays. How would you grade yourself on being able to draw those up?
Yeah, well, and a lot of it's inherited plays, obviously. And so, yeah, we're going to have to keep teams on their toes. And the thing that Coach Quarles was so good at was timing. Everybody's got those trick plays, but it's all about when you call them and how well you execute. And so, sure we'll have them, but everybody's got them. And hopefully we just call them at the right time. Hopefully we hit them when the timing's right.
Obviously, that early stretch of this season, the schedule's pretty daunting. How much are you looking forward to that, or stuff like that?
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. It almost makes the jamboree that much more important, not just for our players, but for me, and our coaches. And so it's going to be fun. It's not going to be easy. Obviously, we're going to handle some adversity. We're going to figure out how tough we are mentally, how much grit we have early on. But even after our first 4 or 5 games, which is basically our non-district, our district's tough too. There's some really good football teams in our district. And so it's not like, we can breathe a sigh of relief after we get through the first 4 or 5 games, win or lose, because we got a tough district. We got to win the district, get the playoffs. And so it's a tough year, man. It's going to be fun. We're looking forward to it. We'd rather have it this way, obviously.
Obviously, one of Maryville's expectations every year is to win a state championship. How much does that early stretch help you guys in maybe doing that?
I think it'll help. The biggest thing is you want to get through it. Obviously, you want to win them all, but you also want to be healthy. And we're playing some physical teams, and so that's a concern. Are we going to be able to stay healthy? And obviously, that's why we've spent so much time this offseason trying to build depth, trying to make sure that our 2s and 3s and 4s are ready to go, just in case, because you're always one play away. And it's like I was saying earlier, it's next man up. You got to have that mentality. I think the good teams always do have their next guy ready. But to answer your question, yes, there's no doubt that the caliber of opponent that we're going to play early on will help us in the postseason. And so hopefully we don't waste that experience.
You mentioned
the district, obviously you add Heritage back into the fold for that.
Sure.
Just as a community, having pretty much all three of those bigger schools together back in the same region, they've kind of gone in and out. What do you think that just does just for the community to add another element to that game?
I think it's important, and we're always going to play, Heritage Win One as far as I'm concerned. I just think that it's so important. And, I have a ton of respect for Coach Amatry, Coach Shadowins. They do such a great job. They really do. And obviously, they've all had a ton of success in their past, so they know what they're doing. And I think it's important for our communities to play each other. I know that it's a bigger rivalry for some than it is for others. But for me, I just think it's good. You grow up, and I played at Maryville. And I had friends at Alcoa, William Blount, Heritage. I had friends at all those schools. And so you grow up playing with them in Little League and sometimes against them. And so it's fun. But when it's in district, obviously it adds a little bit more to it. And so I think that's the way it should be, honestly. We're all about the same size now. We haven't been in the past, but it fluctuates here and there from year to year. But I think it's a pretty cool thing.
I was going to say, but between your time as a player at Maryville and then as a coach, it's gone in and out between you guys being in there and stuff. Do you see the difference in the years when it's maybe they're in region or in district and just not necessarily intensity, but just maybe excitement leading up to a game or anything like that?
Yeah, maybe some. I mean, and you talk about it with your kids. This is a district game, and not that non-districts aren't important, but if you lose a non-district game, it's not going to affect you in the postseason as much as it will if you lose a district game, obviously. So yeah, it adds more pressure, it adds more excitement, and it means more.